with Kevin Entricken, who is the CFO of Wolters Kluwer. Kevin, welcome back to the show. Nice to have you on board. The lingering question for a lot of investors is how software manages to survive and whether there's a moat around it thanks to the adoption of AI. But now that you've folded so many AI products into the systems, what are you seeing in terms of the numbers?
Well, we had a very good first half of the year. We grew 5% organically. As you mentioned, we've seen very good growth in our recurring revenues, 7% up in recurring revenues, and our SaaS software is up 14% this year. So really delighted with that. And it's coming along with the improved profitability, a 10% rise in the adjusted operating profit margin, a 100 basis point improvement in the margin. So we are delighted with our results right now. And a lot of that is driven by innovation and a lot of the very interesting things we're doing by combining our deep domain expertise, our content, with advanced technologies to look for productivity solutions for each of our customers. So we do find that we're adding a lot of value in that regard.
Have a deeper enterprise collaboration with OpenAI to bring more of that technology into your products. I can see from the numbers today, product development spending to rise to 12 to 13% of revenues in 2026, and that is going to be weighted to the second half of this year. Just explain some of that spending and how it's going to be used.
Certainly, we've green-lighted a number of investments in innovation and productivity solutions for our customers. And as you mentioned, we do expect the second half to see an increase in our product development spend and innovation. But we're already seeing great results. In fact, 9 months ago in our health division, we launched up-to-date Expert AI, and today 90% of our customers have already signed on to adopt that. That's 2,500 hospitals in the United States. We're seeing an international adoption as well. Already 36 countries are represented in these new products. So we're delighted with that uptake. We see a similar dynamic in our tax and accounting business where agentic AI modules released in the beginning of the year are now adopted by about 250 accounting firms around the world. So indeed, we are seeing these productivity demands in the professionals we serve, looking for ways that they can cope with increasing regulation, increasing complexity. And by taking our deep domain expertise and marrying it with these advanced technologies, we're adding real value.
Kevin, it's Ben joining the conversation. One observation I've had is, certainly in the last few weeks, there's a bit of a seesaw effect going on between chip maker stocks and software stocks, given where sentiment happens to lie among investors. If they sour on the AI trade itself, they return to the darling of the software spaces and vice versa. How much does that trouble you that even when decent earnings figures are posted, you can be very much subject to the whims of broader sentiment?
Yep, that is the world we live in today. But I will say we are laser focused on execution of our strategy. And if you look at the fundamentals of Wolters Kluwer, we've never been stronger. Not only are we posting organic growth and improved margins, but if you take a look at our free cash flow, up 14% in the first half of the year, EPS up 14%. The fundamentals of Wolters Kluwer have never been stronger. And I think that's because we remained laser focused on helping our customers with the complex problems that they are facing today.
In terms of the software that you run and operate, I know it's in very highly regulated spaces like law and healthcare, but we keep hearing from the big AI labs about how the AI models they are developing in testing have somehow managed to breach the restrictions and the guardrails that are supposedly in place and potentially compromise other companies' software. What are you doing in response to that to make sure that where your software is dealing with very sensitive personal and commercial information, that it's not subject to these risks from the AI software that these labs are developing?
Well, I think those are all very valid concerns that we are laser focused on. If you take a look at how we develop software, we are always looking at security and data privacy in everything that we do. Because as you mentioned, our customers are using our systems as a system of record to hold their customer sensitive data. So we're always focused on security. We're always focused on data privacy. Everything that we do at Wolters Kluwer, there is always an expert in the loop. So we are taking these technologies to enhance our customers' experience, but we always have an expert in the loop, whether it be in healthcare, in tax and accounting, that somebody is there to make sure that we do not experience the hallucinations that you can often find in AI technologies. And we're very, very proud of the products that we've rolled out and very proud of the productivity enhancements our customers are benefiting from.
Can I just get to those productivity enhancements, Kevin, because it is key at this point as we talk about a broader macro picture for productivity. It's hard to get that full picture without talking about it on a one-to-one basis. When you talk about greater productivity, for example, in accounting, it feels as though it is the ability of AI to pick up on the numbers and not have someone there simply just doing the data entry. The data entry for a human can also lead to a lot of human error. If you're putting the wrong figure in, then overall the balance sheet gets skewed because the numbers were wrong. Just talk to us about how that productivity is. Is it just around data entry, or does it run much deeper than that when we talk about the expert AI?
No, absolutely, Karen. There are many different ways that we can use these technologies to get productivity benefits. We've just released a scan module, an AI scan module, which indeed can scan data figures into the software automatically, which allows that tax professional to focus on advising their customer and analytically reviewing their tax situation. Other things that we use these technologies for scheduling, making sure there's client collaboration in a seamless way. So there are many, many different opportunities that we can use to help that accountant do a better job. And remember, in this field, regulation is only getting more complex. There are literally thousands and thousands of changes to the tax law around the world. So it is a very complicated profession to operate in, and that's really where we add a lot of value.
We've had of the universe too, where it is a conversation that we've heard that small and medium-sized businesses do not want to be simply adopting the AI themselves, whereas bigger businesses have been willing to integrate these models into their own system and build out everything themselves, so it's customized, it's bespoke. Are you seeing that in terms of the adoption that's very different across industry?
We do see different adoption rates in different sectors that we serve, in different size customers as well. I think what every customer, though, is looking for is a system that they can trust, a system that they know that they can rely on. And I think that's where we have an advantage in many ways, because our customers have trusted us for giving them the best solutions for many, many years. Now we're bringing advanced technologies to the party with that, and it's only helping them. But I think that trust level is something that you really can't take for granted. And we've established that in our health business, our legal business, our tax business, and we will continue to focus on bringing the best to the customers in a way that they can rely on.
Kevin, thanks for stopping by to explain the numbers to us and just what you're seeing at the moment. Kevin Entricken with us, the CFO of Wolters Kluwer.